So welcome back everyone to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. Now for today on the show we have the incredible, amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only Laila. Laila, how are you today?
I'm very good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. You know what? What better way to start up the week to be chatting with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. Now, before we start, I do want to thank those who are tuning in, and those who haven't subscribed yet. Hit subscribe and follow, helps a lot. But also in the description below, you're gonna find all of Laila's social media. Let's follow her, but also let's discover why she's super badass, right? Now, without further more, let's jump in here. So I want to start this whole epic conversation by throwing out the first question, which is, what initially drew you to pursue acting as a career?
I just wanted to do it ever since I was a little girl. It's just one of those things. I don't know what happened when I was a kid, but I just always wanted to. When I was like 5 years old, I was the kid that was always asking my mom, I want to work. I want to be on set. Can you get me an agent?
That is incredible. I mean, that's epic. That's cool. The fact that since you were little, you kind of knew where to go exactly, and that also that you had like the support and everything to go through with it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. My family's very supportive.
And there you go. I love it. Now that being said, focusing a little bit more into your whole acting career, tell me, like, how do you approach preparing for a new role? Like what techniques or methods do you find most effective in that process?
Usually I'll read the script over, obviously, get an idea what the story is. And then I like to use Oda Hagen's 6 steps. Um, the 6 steps are, who am I? Figuring out who the character is, what are their circumstances, and I'll do that for each scene because a character isn't going to be the same throughout a script. They're going to develop as different things happen to them. So for each scene, who am I now? In the next scene, maybe something happens to me. How does that change me? Who am I now? Um, so I'll go through that for each scene. Who am I? What are the circumstances? What are my relationships in that scene? How do I bond with those people? Am I close with those people? Am I scared of those people? What kind of relationships do I have? Has that relationship changed? Did we used to be really close and we're not anymore? What does my character want? What are their motives? What are they trying to get out of this interaction? Was it unexpected? Did they not want anything at all? What are my obstacles? And at the end of the day, what does my character want?
Okay. And tell me, like, how challenging can be whenever you're about to play someone who is like totally opposite from you?
So after the 6 steps, I'll usually, especially if a character's like if really different from me, the first thing you have to do is just try to understand them and try to empathize with them. So, if I'm playing a murderer, which I played last year, it's trying to understand, like, how could this person get to a place where that was their only option. Um, we're all good, we're all bad, we all have flaws. And it's just really trying to figure out, what made them be that way, what experiences have they had, to be a murderer and to be able to authentically play one. Because for me, I have to know where this character came from and what happened to them, that is their only choice. And almost in a way, I don't agree with murder, but I'd be able to agree with them and understand why they would do that. And be that person and play that authentically.
And is it like challenging to kind of get out from that? So you prepare the character, you play it, you're done. So has it ever happened to you that it took you like a little bit more time, let's say, to kind of get out of like get out of that role, let's say, and to be back to be the real you, yes, in a way.
Sometimes you have to do your self-care and come back when I come back to my real world and I come back home to my dog and my friends and my family. It's pretty easy to come back to who I am. I know who I am inside out. and I know what's different for me, and I know that I am pretending, I am playing, but in those moments you want to feel those moments and be um there for those moments and react off those moments. But I do know at the end of the day we have a camera crew, this isn't real. So it's
Mm.
not too hard to get in and out of. um Another thing I do for my character creation, next to the 6 steps, if it's a character that's really different from me or has a very different physicality from me, um I'll look at people, like I'll do a lot of people watching, like how they walk and see if I can mimic them. But I also love looking at animals. You can learn so much from animals, with their physicality. Like my dog, for example, he can tell me so much without saying any words. So I think a lot of actors should look more at animals and see how they interact with each other, and use those physicalities and bring those into your roles, because I find it makes a huge difference.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see that. I see that happening. I
Like,
mean, I live with 3 dogs, so I know what you mean.
yeah, like for example, right, if I was playing maybe like a predator kind of character, what animals are predators? Well, I know lots of big cats are predators, right? How do they interact with their prey? If I was playing more of like a stalker, it depends on the character and the writing and how they're written,
Yeah.
but I might look at a cat and go, okay, well, they're natural predators. What do they do? How do they stalk their prey? How do they look at their prey? Do they circle their prey? Do they take advantage of the space around them? And those little physicalities you can add into your performance, and I find it makes a stronger performance, especially if it's a character far away from you, right? You got to
Mm.
take everything in this world and try to help it, use it as to your advantage and help you.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, it does make sense. I mean, the fact that I mean, at the end of the day, we do. I mean, animals feel too, so it's understandable the fact that you want to take like a little bit of approach on how they act in specific occasions, in depending on how the role is gonna be. Because let's say that perhaps those are like primal emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like old
exactly.
ones, let's say. Like every living being has them. So yeah, I can understand like your point here on how you, let's say, to yeah, like how you approach on that. So.
Yeah.
That's epic. I love it. And tell me, that so that role you had as a murderer, was that like the most challenging role you've undertaken? And if not, what was it? And but also, how did you overcome those challenges?
I had a role where it was really challenging, actually. So this is a horror. It was a horror film. Um, Kind of had a midsummer vibe. It's a cult horror film, but it had a lot of um, Indian aesthetics, and part of the film was in Hindi, and I actually don't speak Hindi. So it was really challenging, speaking a different language and acting, and having like a speech coach there to tell me how to say the lines properly so that people that speak Hindi can understand what I'm saying. That was really challenging. It was different.
And tell me, like, has that happened? Has that like ever happened to you like more than once that you were about to play somebody else from another country, culture, like all of that?
That was just the one time, but I've had a lot of auditions since, and I've had a lot of um, I've been short casted for similar roles. I haven't heard back yet, but we'll find out.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I mean,
Yeah,
like
short.
yeah, like the reason why I'm asking you that is because several times I have interviewed, people from that their native language is Spanish, right? But they're from Spain, right? And it's interesting how sometimes because they speak Spanish, for example, or something like that, they will put them to kind of speak to kind of in like play another set of like another type of role, like people from another country, like something like that. And it's challenging because you're like, you know what, that's not me. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, and seeing different cultures is helpful. Like if you're not working on a project, if you can travel and see those cultures and live those cultures even for a couple days, um, that's something that you can have in ready when you need it, in the back of your mind, and helps you be more worldly. So if someone's trying to create a different world that is different, I'm from Canada. I'm a Canadian actress. Um, so if we're building a world that isn't Canada, at least Canada's not all I know.
Totally. Yeah, no, and it's important, right, to get the chance to kind of like discover new, like new cultures, new countries. And also it helps you. I once interviewed an actor who told me that that if you can get the chance to, learn more languages, things like that, it can really help you a lot in your acting career to kind of approach different type of roles, or to even jump to different countries, right? I mean, we have seen it like multiple times with even like with A-list actors that because they're able to perform with different languages, they're able to play in different roles in different movies, and yeah, it's amazing how they are able to kind of pull that through. So yeah,
Yeah.
epic. And focusing more, getting back again with your whole, character creation process. Tell me, are there like any rituals or routines that you follow to get into character before filming or performing?
It depends on the scene. If I'm doing, a pretty lighthearted scene, we're having a regular conversation in a coffee shop. There's not really a lot of, I check the script, make sure I know my lines, but I've already known that long before filming. Like I'm already prepared for that. If I'm doing a really hard scene, like a really emotional scene, um, I like to listen to music to get me in the headspace, and I try to ask crew to just leave me alone. Let me wear the headphones until the director says action.
That's cool and epic, and also
Yeah.
it shows that everyone has like their own thing, right? I mean, that is one of the great things that that I have discovered with this platform is that everyone has like their own thing to, prepare character or to prepare themselves to play on a specific scene, and that's great because it shows to those who are either starting out or want to get their feet wet into the whole acting world, that you don't have to follow on a specific way to do things, right? I mean, you can take pieces from everyone here and there, but it's important, but that at the end of it, you were able to um get your thing, like have your own thing, because at the end of the day, it's you who is gonna play it, right? So kind of
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah, you got to figure out the method that works for you and helps you make good work.
Totally. Totally. And like, how do you balance portraying a character authentically while still bringing your own unique style and personality to the role?
Um, you know, I think it's just part of the movie magic, and it's just something that happens. There's something that the director, the casting director sees where they know that they can see the character from me. Um, and I just try to bring what I can. And sometimes I don't always know what it is. Sometimes I do. Um, and I just trust that the people hired me for a reason, and that's why I'm here.
Simple but
And as long
epic.
as I'm authentic to the scene and how I'm feeling, and I'm working with my co-stars, and you know,
Yeah,
I'm
that makes
authentic to
sense.
myself.
Totally. I mean, that's the goal here, right? I mean, even though that you're gonna play some other, like some other person, at the end of the day, it's you who is about to. So, it's important to to have like your signature here, or like your, yeah, like your thing, let's say.
Yeah.
That is epic. That is badass. I mean, you're just living up here. We started at badass level 1. You are like at badass level 3, let's say. That's epic. I love it. And tell me, like, have you ever experienced a breakthrough moment where a role or performance significantly impacted you, like significantly impacted your growth as an actor?
Um, ever like I said, ever since I was a kid, I knew it's what I wanted to do and it's where I wanted to be. There was a specific performance I did last year where, and that movie will be coming out next year to major Canadian film festivals. It's called Cullicar. Um, yeah, we did this one scene, and I can't say, I don't want to spoil what happened, but it was a really intense scene. And when the director called cut, everyone was silent, and then the whole crew started clapping. And yeah, it was a really empowering moment, and I knew that day that I am talented, and I'm doing a good job and that this is where I belong no matter how hard it takes, because acting is such a roller coaster, you know. Even when you have a job, you're still jobless because that job ends.
True.
So it was I never had like a whole crew just be silent for like a good 30 seconds and then everyone just slowly started clapping. um it really told me that I'm supposed to be here and I'm doing the right thing, and no matter how hard it is, I just need to keep trying because I'm passionate about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's surreal, right? Whenever you are, I mean, I would assume that you, so let's say you play the scene and everything, and once you realize you're, I don't know, back at home walking with a dog, and be like, like a couple of hours ago, I was in the middle of like doing this character, everything like this important scene, and now just following my regular life, walking with my dog or watching TV. You know what I mean? Like how,
Yeah.
like what, like when you get the chance to, yeah, like whenever you get the chance to kind of stop a little bit, you realize how fast things go. You know what I
Yes.
mean? You're like, crap. Like wow, this really happened. You know what I
I'm
mean?
like, wow, I just spent, 2 weeks on set and we created something crazy, and I was in this totally different world that doesn't even exist in on planet Earth, and here I am walking my dog.
You know what I mean? So it's amazing. It's yeah, like that feeling is just epic. You know what I mean? It's incredible. I love it.
There's
And
nothing like it, that
right?
it really is such a thrill to be on set, and then you're just always chasing it.
Yeah. But and as I said here, I mean it shows you like how fast things are, so why not on the process of that enjoy it, make the best of it because once you realize it's over and you are about to go to bed or something like that. So, you know, that is cool. And like what do you find most rewarding about being an actor, both personally and professionally?
um Personally, I'm step question. It's I'm living my dreams, and not a lot of people give up before they even start. Um, I'm living my dreams, and it's happening, and I'm booking roles, and you know that's rewarding enough. I get to do the one thing I'm really, really passionate about, and not everyone gets to do that in their day to day life. So I'm really grateful, and I know it doesn't always happen for everyone. So I'm really humbled too. Like, I'm
Totally.
really humbled that I get to do this career and actually make money at it, and um, get to share my art, and people get to look at my art. Like, people actually get to watch this stuff, when it goes in theaters and there's releases, and yeah, it's just really humbling, and I'm really lucky.
Yeah, I mean it's epic because you are also showing, besides of course, giving us the audience epic performances, you're also showing that that it is possible, right? I mean, I do believe that sometimes we get this idea, right, that we can't, yeah, perhaps we can't pursue in a specific career or to create on a specific path because I don't know, we were we got, yeah, like we are from another country, right? Or we don't see that possible because A, C, B, or like like ABC or like whatever thing, right? But at the end of the day, it's people like you that I admire because you are showing, you are showing up and you're raising your hand and you are, yeah, basically proving everyone here that it is possible. But of course, put the work to it,
Yeah,
so.
it's not easy. I live in Calgary, Alberta, so I'm not in Vancouver, I'm not in Toronto. There's not as much acting work here. And it's kind of funny when people are like, "Oh, what do you do?" "I'm an actor." Like, in Calgary, do they shoot anything here? And I'm like, like, a lot of people just don't know. You'd be surprised how many productions happen here. Like, we had Ghostbusters, Jumanji, Heartland every year, Billy the Kid, The
The Last
Last
of
of
Us, yeah.
we have so many productions happening here, and little me, or even my mom, we wouldn't have known. I was always told I have to move to Vancouver, I have to move to Toronto. I didn't know I could build a career here at home where I have stability.
Totally. Yeah, but it's incredible also the fact that these big productions are like moving away from the US. That is great. That is good because it also gives the opportunity for actors like you to kind of have the chance to be like to try on those productions or have like more yeah, like have a more chance to be on a project since everything is kind of growing up and moving to a different part of the world, which is really cool. I
Mm.
mean, we will see it that also that European actors will also have like their own films. I was saying the other day that back when I was a kid, having the chance to see a film that was from Europe or from another country that wasn't the US, it was super difficult because we only will be able to see, like the big ones. But now it's great, with Netflix, all of that, that it also shows that yeah, it also gives us the opportunity now to watch films from basically all over the world, which is great. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that is awesome.
totally. And how do you navigate the highs and the lows of the entertainment industry? And what advice would you give to aspiring actors who are, facing like the similar challenges?
You know, I always say I don't know if this is true. It's something I read and it just stuck with me. Um on average, again, I don't know if it's true, but on average, most actors book 1 out of 68 auditions. So what I do is I just count my way to 68 auditions as I get if I'm not booking, it's okay. It's not a rejection. It's not always based on me or my skill or my talent. I'm just not a right fit for the part. There's certain roles that I audition for where I'm like, I don't know why I'm auditioning for this, but I'm gonna count my way up to 68 because by the time I hit 68, I've probably booked one. And when I book one, I just start over and count my way back up to 68. Um, I don't know why that helps me. I just know like, hey, we're not even close to 68 yet. We're still good.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, this is the way.
And keep yourself inspired and keep your storytelling muscles sharp and watch lots of movies, read lots of books, um, and just appreciate other people's art so that you can grow and you can learn and you can study them and then when the next audition comes then you can use those new tactics.
There you go. I'll take into consideration. I'll tell you what, if I ever become an actor, I'll be mentioning you in my thank you speech of a award that I win at some point. Sounds like a
Oh,
plan.
thank you.
Absolutely. I love it. Now, are there any dream roles or project you aspire to pursue in the future?
I always like anything that's like quirky, weird, not your typical story. I love those. Um, I love experimental films. I love, I love dark. I love dark. I love dark comedy. Anything dark. I I'm not probably gonna play the girl next door. I have for film, I have a little bit of a meaner face, so lots of villain roles are fun. I love playing villains. I love the chance to get a little crazy. Um, yeah, anything quirky, weird, different. I love that. I love a unique story.
I love it. I mean, who knows? Maybe at some point you will even have your own action figure.
That'd be cool.
That would be great. Just if you have one, I will get it. So just please, I mean, if you can get like signature to it, that would be great.
Oh, of course, for sure.
Thank you. I love
I'll
it.
send it to you. You don't have to buy one.
Oh, that will be epic. That will be epic. I love it. And like, what role do you believe storytelling plays in society? And how do you see the actor's role in shaping narratives?
You know, I wrote an answer to this question because I think it's really important. Um, I think storytelling plays a big role in society. It influences attitude, shapes values, and it's a powerful tool to bring social change or at least awareness. Um, there's a lot of films where I wouldn't know that there's a lot of social problems going on if it wasn't for the film that brought attention to it. So I think storytelling is really important, and it can bring a lot of change in the world, and it can also bring awareness and help people see the world through different eyes, and it brings more empathy to the world. um, you might me growing up in Western society, I wouldn't be able to have the same empathy for somebody growing up in a third world country if I didn't have, a movie to show me that and show me exactly what their struggles are and what their day to day looks like. And I think storytelling is so important for that, to just open eyes and raise awareness and teach people and show people, and also relax and laugh, and not every story has to be super serious, but
Yeah,
I think it's a really important part of society, and I think it it has a bigger impact than just watching a movie.
totally. I mean, that's like the whole beauty of art, that there is room for there's room for everyone, So that's great. And I mean, and it's true. I mean, not every story has to be like super deep and emotional. Every now and then you just want to watch something funny because that's the way it is, and disconnect your brain for a little bit and enjoy the whole experience to it, because we're humans, we need those moments as well. So
Yeah, we need those moments to relax and rest, and I think there's a lot of stories that can do that for you and help you through that. There's a
totally,
lot of stories that can help you feel seen too, like they can help people.
for sure. And also, and that is amazing because sometimes that will inspire you to whatever you want to do. So I think that's like the whole beauty also as well about arts, that it's different from everyone, but also it can give you the opportunity to inspire you somehow on something. So
Mhm.
I love it. And if you could collaborate with any actor, director, or writer, either living or deceased, who would it be and
Okay.
why?
So my number one dream director would be Yorgo Laminith. So he's the director of Poor Things, which just won Emma Stone and Oscar. Um, Everything he makes is so unique and so strange, and he has a very unique way of storytelling, and every frame is so beautiful. It doesn't matter where he pauses films; that it's just such a captivating frame. Um, so it would be a dream to work with him. I'd also like to work with Seth Rogen because his comedy is so funny. Maybe like on The Boys or something.
Oh,
I love
cool.
that show. I think it's a really cool take on superheroes I've never really seen before. Um, and what started my like one of my first favorite directors would be Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. They're just so strange. I just love the strange storytelling. Like I just love the quirky characters. And I love how a lot of those characters aren't always the hero. Sometimes they're not always even likable, but they're very captivating to watch. And Steven Spielberg, of course.
I
And
like
then
it.
locally, so locally here in Calgary, we have two directors I would love to work with. One's name's Griffin Quirk. He created a TV show called Abracadabras. It has a little bit of a Wes Anderson vibe, and all the characters have superpowers, and it's just such a quirky film. I always see them on Instagram. They just finished filming season 3, so that's a dream that I would love that was local. And another director, he's new and upcoming. He's only made 2 feature films. His name is Tesh Guttikanda. I don't know how to say his last name. I've never heard it said out loud. But he just made a film called Low Lives, and you can watch it on Crave. It's a horror film. He's a South Asian director, and I'm half South Asian, so it'd be really cool to collaborate with someone like him.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah,
That's
it's a long list.
well, let's make it happen. Who knows? Life's too short, and you'll be surprised sometimes. So that's amazing. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, like, what motivates you? We all have those days that basically we just want to quit. It's inevitable, happens to all of us. So how you keep yourself positive or motivated in a situation that perhaps your personal life or you are passing through a difficult moment, let's say.
My mom, she's a writer. She's published novels, and so she's had the creative struggle. She's been writing for 40 years. Sometimes I call her crying and she's really helpful. I also have a poster in my room. It's kind of weird, but it's not that weird. Have you seen Ash versus Evil Dead, the new TV show from Netflix? It's the new Evil Dead TV show. So there's an actor in there. She plays Kelly, and her name's Dana. I ended up running into her at a con one day, and I said to her, "Hey, it was so cool to see you on that TV show because we look very similar. We look like we could be sisters." Especially being mixed, sometimes it's a struggle. When I get casting calls, I get, the Caucasian role, but I'm not white enough, or I'll get the South Asian role, but I'm not brown enough, right? So sometimes for casting calls, it's a little bit of a struggle to figure out which ones I'm going to submit for all of them if I get asked for an audition, obviously. But it's a little bit tricky because I have such a unique look that I don't really fall under a certain category. And she looks like she could be my sister. She's half Italian. So I ran into her and we had a heart to heart. And she just said, keep going. And she wrote me she had a spare headshot photo, and she wrote on it, I have it hung up here, "Don't give up, follow your passion no matter what." And it's really inspiring. So, if I'm feeling a little bit low, I'll look at that because someone as successful as her believes in me, so I should keep trying, right?
Yeah, that's like super badass. I love it. Okay. Yeah, I like it. And my last question. All right, so we can all enjoy and relax after a couple of difficult, amazing, badass questions and an epic conversation as well. So here it is. What do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
Ooh, Ooh, I don't know.
Take your time. I mean, this question usually is like the most difficult
Takes
for
half
everyone. So take your time. It's okay.
Yeah, you know what? We'll let Kelly from Evil Dead name it, and we'll call it "Follow Your Passion."
Follow your passion. It is. Sounds like a plan. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got a title.
Ooh. Hell yeah! And then next year in the Canadian Film Festival market, I have 3 short films coming out. One's called Kalakar, one's called Cancer Season, and another one's called Slugger. So keep your eyes out and try to watch them.
Sounds like we're gonna have like more episodes. You and me chatting about your new project, your new upcoming projects. Then.
Yeah, those will be out in 2025 Canadian Film Festival market. Cool. All over. So just keep your eyes peeled.
Sounds like a plan. I mean, who knows? Maybe at that point I'm already there, so that would be cool.
Yeah, then we can hang out. We can do an in-person podcast.
That would be cool. Yeah, that's like that's the plan. That's like the next phase of the whole Chat with Dan show. So. Yeah,
hell yeah! I had a lot of fun. I'd totally do it again.
Yeah, same here. And also, I want to thank you for making this happen. It's incredible what you do, what you're passionate about, the fact that you are, showing results, but also you love it. That's incredible. And I do think that people should be paying more attention in what they want to do in life instead of following somebody else's path or following something else because they were told to. Life's too short, as we were talking before. And once you realize it's been already like 2, 3, 4, 5 days, even a month, so why not just focusing on doing something that makes you happy and you're doing it? So that's incredible. That's epic. And also, I want to thank those who stayed here this whole episode. Now, as I said in the beginning, you're gonna find all of Laila's social media, and because now we find out why she's super badass, let's make her viral. # Team Laila. And again, thank you for making this happen. Keep shining out there, keep rocking, keep being super badass, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.